25b, b4. Okay. It's interesting. We're going to be reading Eicha on Tisha B'Av. And here we go. We have something pasuk from Eicha. Vatiznach, so the art scroll is 25b2, bottom of the first column. Vatiznach misholam nafshi, nashiti tova. Yirmiyah, the prophet, is bemoaning, if that's the right word, lamenting lamenting. Okay, thank you very much. On the time of the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, and he says that peace has been forsaken from my soul. I forgot goodness. So he talks about peace being removed, goodness being removed. Throughout the chapter, Yirmiyah is bemoaning, if that's the right word, the troubles that will happen, the new found troubles in the time of destruction of the temple. And in this verse, in this pasuk, he's focusing on the peace and the good that we had until the destruction, and now that will cease to exist. The pasuk did not tell us, did not elaborate what is this goodness, what is this peace that is referring to. And the Gemara now discusses it, the opinions. Amar Bavohu. And so the Gemara understood that Yirmiyah is referring to the common goodness that's had on a regular basis, the common peace. What is that referring to? The everyday life that we had. Which points is he focusing on? Amar Abavu, Shalom Zuhad Lokat Ner Shabbat. We know having candles lit for Shabbat connected to Shalom Bayit. You have light in the house. You see where you're going. You're not going to fall. Or the other pshat, you're not going to eat in the dark. You'll have a certain type of proper feeling instead of feeling stressed out because you fell, or instead of feeling uncomfortable because eating in the dark. We have the Shabbat candles.
Part of the joy of tasting the food is also smelling it and seeing it. So if you can see it, maybe you'll also enjoy Shabbat more.
Right. What Nathan is saying is about a little bit what we had in the Tosfot, the Rashi. The idea of the Shabbat candles being by the table, because that adds to the elegance of Shabbos, the honor of Shabbos, the beauty, the enjoyment of Shabbat. Right. See, Tosfot says it's only Shabbat, it's enjoyment of the Shabbat, but that is not, that part of Shabbat candles was probably is not under the Shalom Bayit part.
Right.
The Shalom Bayit, because it's additional, right? So here we're focusing on the Shalom Bayit part of the candles, the bringing peace. That's missing now. Meaning, at the time of destruction, we don't have the ability. We don't have money to afford candles, or maybe the enemy would not allow us to light the candles. So we're missing in the Shalom Bayit. That's what Yirmiyah is saying is what's going to happen in the time of the destruction. That will be lost. And then what does it mean Nashiti Tova? We'll forget good. Good will be, what is the goodness referring to? Amar Yirmiyah Zo Beit HaMechatz. You wouldn't be able to go to a bathhouse. You wouldn't be able to go to a wash house at the time of the destruction. Rabbi Yochanan, he says, not only that
because of the destruction, one cannot go.
Right, we won't have the ability,
or won't be allowed to, or is not proper to go if the Beit HaMikdash has been destroyed.
It's more the former, that we won't have bathhouses. They won't allow us to go. We won't be able to go. Right, we're going to be missing this during that time of the destruction, we're not going to have the ability to.
We will not, we did not.
Um, we will. They're not going to. Then we right. We did not have. That's what he's prophesying that that's going to be. That was forgotten. Nashiti Tova. We forgotten that that goodness. Now, Rabbi Yochanan says, "Zu rechitzat yadayim raglayim b'chamin." So some understand that this is a different opinion, and he has his he wants to say that it's referring to even washing the hands and the feet in hot water, which was probably a bathhouse was probably have a whole bath that you're able to do in a bathhouse. And here you could say that Rabbi Yochanan say we're not even going to have the ability to have even hot water for our hands and our feet. That's one.
The feet thing, getting the dust off your feet and the Avodah Zarah, like it was
Yeah,
early
yeah, right. No, not for Avodah Zarah. It's the feet because you're traveling, it's dirty or whatever, not because of Avodah Zarah. And let's see the commentary over here. Okay, so they want to say, okay, we'll hold that for now. Now, if you say nafcho ama zu mita noah, you're not going to have a nice bed. The time of the destruction, what's going to happen is we're not going to have a proper bed. The kilim noim she'oleha. We're not going to have the proper beddings that are on a bed. That was the goodness. That was part of the goodness, the normalcy that we had before the destruction. And now this is the time of destruction. Now, how many years that will be during that time period of the destruction, we lost out that we did not have that ability. Sleeping on the floor, most probably, right? You know that's where the people were sleeping. They didn't have a proper bed. Abba Oma Zu Mita Mutzah. This is referring to a bed that is made Be'isha Mikushetet, the Talmid HaChachamim. That he says they're not going to have a proper woman, a woman that will have the way I would understand it, that a woman with the proper opportunities to do good things. We won't have that woman who's like a Eshet Chayil. Eshet Chayil Miyimsa, where we sing Friday night, Morning Asaf, which discusses all the good things that she does. It says you're not going to have a woman that's proper in her actions for the Torah scholar. That's going to be missing. What? Mikushetet. So mikushetet usually means adorned. Adorned with what? So sometimes
for midot.
So midot, right? So right, mikushetet could mean is good morning Asaf is clothes, is jewelry, right? It says ma kala miskashetet. Rashi brings down the Pashas Kisisa, the language of this language of Kishut, is that a bride in the old days, Yeshaya spoke about when a woman would get married, she would adorn herself with 24 different types of adornments, different types of jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, all different types of, probably nose rings in those days, earrings, and all different things. And just like and the Torah, just like a kala, a bride would adorn herself with 24 different types of adornments, so to a Torah scholar has to be bucky, has to be fluent in the 24 Sfarim of Tanakh. And I explained that what's the
24 for the lady?
The lady wore 24?
And the Torah scholar would adorn himself with all 24
that's what he needs to.
Yes.
Now, and I would like to say,
otherwise it's not properly adorned.
Very good, beautiful, very nice. You write that down. It's a nice chiddush. He's missing in his makeup, so to speak, in a certain way.
You need it,
what makes
makes
exactly. That's my pun. Yeah, exactly. What makes him? And it's also we dress. That's how you dress yourself. I wanted to say it wasn't an arbitrary number that the women, the bride, wore 24 adornments. I wanted to suggest a little chidush that the Jewish bride made a statement. I am getting married. I'm wearing 24 adornments. Each adornment is representing one of the books of Tanakh. I'm going to be here to help you reach your potential. But it says a man without a wife is not complete in his Torah. It says Torah will be complete. Okay. Hashem says, Lo tova hayos adam levado. And therefore, that's the idea why the woman made that statement, we're here to help. So that's going to be missing.
There's also, is it the number 24 ways to acquire the Torah or not 24?
It's just 48 ways. Remember, that's what I'm sorry. Right. There is 24 Ma'at Kahuna. Okay, there is the number 24 is a big, interesting number. So that's what's going to be missing. You can ask the question, why aren't you going to have that woman who's adorned with all those good deeds? So I presume one of the reasons is because she's not going to so many troubles and she's not going to have so many opportunities to do good things, to do all the good things that a woman generally has the opportunity to do. Tana Rabbanan. And by the way, in the language of the Gemara is Isha Mekushetet L'Tamid HaChachamim. But that is the type of woman that's fit for a Torah scholar, that you should marry a woman that has all these adornments of good deeds.
Is it the same three consonants as Keshet rainbow, or is something different?
Right, but that's a tet, that's a tough.
So,
right.
They
should. Okay. Tana Rabbana. Ize Ashir. Now again, it's also it adorns. It's beautiful, right? The rainbow has all these colors. It's like a Ize Ashir. Now, this is connect. Right, not Pirkei Avot. We said we're going to be missing. We just spoke about they're going to be missing shalom. They're going to be missing peace in the future during the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. And Ezu Asher, what's called a wealthy person? Talking about goodness, talking about missing goodness, and here what is called a wealthy person? Kol sheyesh lo nachat ruach b'ashur. Somebody was happy with his lot. A little bit what this is his interpretation. We're going to see different interpretations. And what does it mean? He's happy with his lot. He's happy with his lot, whether it's a lot, whether it's a little. That's the opinion of Rameya. That's one way to understand Sameach. He has nachat ruach ba'ashro. He has pleasantness, happiness with his whatever wealth that he has. He's happy with it. And if a person is happy with what they got, they're wealthy. A guy who has a lot is not happy with what he got. He's not. If you're not happy, you're not wealthy. And if a person doesn't have so much, but he's happy, he's wealthy, he's a happy guy, that's one shot. But it's not. He doesn't use the same language that we say hasameach b'chelko. He says the word nachat ruach ba'oshro. So some say it means someone who actually enjoys his wealth. A wealthy person is someone who actually benefits from his wealth. This person has a lot of money on paper, a lot of money on the bank.
That's potential wealth. That's only after you give it away to real wealth. So
the guy can have millions of dollars under his mattress, but if he doesn't benefit from it, because he has it, he owns a lot of money, he owns a lot of real estate, but he doesn't benefit. That's not a wealthy person. So that's he benefits, he uses his wealth, and that is the that opinion. The Vilna Gaon says, it's referring to Torah. He says, Rameya, the Torah is telling you what is the proper way a person should learn. You should learn something that you enjoy. If you have nachat ruach, your usher, what is the wealth of a Jew? The wealth is Torah. And if you go ahead, that is
the calmness with which to learn it and enjoy it, as opposed to pressure to learn it.
pressure to learn, or
Serenity.
Serenity and an enjoyment. And that's because, remember, it says Yikarahi mipninim. It's more precious than all the pearls and something. So therefore, the Torah is the wealth of the Jewish people. And therefore, if we go ahead and we enjoy and what's called wealthy, the real wealthy person, you have the wealth, you have the Torah, but if you enjoy it, if you learn what your heart desires, that is the opinion of the Vilna Gaon's understanding, a deeper understanding. Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Tarfon says, you know what a wealthy person is? Kol sheyesh lo mea kramim, mea sadot, mea vadim she'uvde behem. You have 100 vineyards, 100 fields, 100 servants that work in those fields and those vineyards. That is a wealthy person. Now, what does he mean to say by this? Is he saying a person who has a lot of real estate, or but you're not the one who's knocking yourself out in you have servants who are able to go ahead and take care of all those, to do the hard work. That's what it would seem on the surface.
Could it also be allegorical, like it's not 100 children, a lot of children?
I mean, so the allegorical, I mean, it could be, you're saying 100 vineyards, 100 fields might be referring to children or family. They bring down a different allegorical shot from the Vilna Gaon again, is that the vineyards refer to the Agadata of the Torah. The Agadata is the stories of the Gemara and the things that draw the heart. The Sadot, the fields, refer to the Halacha. The Torah has a lot of parts, the law itself, and the Avodim is going on
Brach on those are like the fruits of the vine, which are different and sweet and grow out from the halachot.
Right, very good. It's the the Agadah draws the heart. So the wine draws the heart of the person, right? Yayin yisamach levav enosh. Wine makes the heart, gladdens the heart. So then the field refers to the laws, and the avodim, he says, refers to the brachot. I presume because when you're saying brachot, you are recognizing I received something from you. So I have the brachot are like the servants. I'm recognizing that you took care of me. You gave me my wages, so to speak. If a person and if a person is fluent in Agadah, if you have 100 vineyards, you have so much Agadah, stories of the Gemara. There's something called the Ein Yaakov. Ein Yaakov is something that they cut out everything. They cut out all the stories of the Gemara, and they made volumes just on the stories. No halacha. It's called Ein Yaakov, and I think Arshkel actually translated it into English. Called Ein Yaakov. And if you are fluent in the Agadah, you have 100 vineyards. That means you have a lot of Agadah under your belt. You have 100 fields. You have a lot of halacha, and you make 100 brachot every day. That's the number 100, because it says in Shachar say 100 brachot every day. That's the 100 servants.
One more than sister.
Then you're a wealthy person. That's a wealthy person. Now, in the other translation over here, they want to say that Rabbi Tarfon wants to say he's talking in a exaggerated form. 100 fields. Who has 100 fields? 100 fields. I mean, yes, today we're thinking deep in the old days, right, Ralph, right? People talk big numbers today. We have that type of global economy and the ability to purchase tremendous amounts. But it's very rare. A guy owns 100 fields, 100 vineyards, 100 slaves. Rabbi Tarfon wants to say a person who loves money will never be satiated.
Yeah, what time?
Right. Misha Yesh Lamar, someone has 100 zuz, he wants 200. He's not satisfied. And um, you'll never really reach the goal of having all the money that you want. And therefore, you know, don't, you know, don't, don't run after it, so to speak. Um, Now, the Gemara continues. Rabbi Kiva says, Kol sheyesh lo isha noah v'masa. This is an amazing Gemara. Anybody who has a wife who does nice deeds, who does good things, and that is a wealthy person. A person might not have the money, but you have a wife that's good in her deeds. You have a very good wife. She does good things. That is a rich person, and it could be Rabbi Akiva's influence from his own personal story. He's talking about himself. He had a wife, Rachel. She banked on him. She put him through yeshiva. Rabbi Akiva, if you recall the Gemara, Rabbi Akiva was an unlearned man at the age of 40, but he had certain good midot. He had certain humility about him, certain modesty about him. And Rachel came from the most richest home. Kalba Savua was her father. Anybody who came, you know, came in very hungry. He took care of them, 20 miles. And she says, I want to marry him. And her father disowned her. You're marrying such a person? And she says, because she said, you know, I know that I'll send him to learn, and I know he'll become great. And that's what happened. He went away. She said to Shiva, came back with 12,000 students after 12 years, and he came back after another 12 years with 24,000 students.
So, Rabbi, this is an exception to your general rule that you shouldn't marry a rich girl unless you're a rich guy.
Right. So here, right.
She was rich, but she didn't have that kind of taste.
Right. Exactly. Right. She was wealthy. Now, but again, she might have thought that her father was going to support them. So technically, that he would not be that would work also. He would not be responsible, perhaps, to pay for everything. But he said, "I'm going to disown her." Disown her. He made a vow, and then eventually they undid the vow. Whenever you see the Gemara, but or however the Gemara discusses that.
He heard a lecture from him and didn't realize it was Rabbi Akiva.
If I would have known, right? If I would have known that, I would not have made the vow. Yes.
She went into it assuming she probably was not going to get the money, girl.
Yes, I don't know if she knew that her father was going to.
Because she
I think by the time she got married, the father had already disowned her, and
So she went through it anyway. Okay. Okay. So right. Right. We said on Shabbat, we said that a man, when you get married, the lady's used to a certain level of standard or level of living. He has a responsibility to bring it to that level. Now, if the wife says, I don't want it, I'm not interested.
I'm down to earth.
I'm really, then I don't think that he's not responsible to bring her that level of living, right? If she says, I'm mochel that, I don't want that level. But if she says, I want that, he can't just say, well, I'm not giving it to you. What do you mean? What do you mean? You married me. You know that this is my standard of living. I have a maid in the house. I don't pay, I never put something away. I don't know what it means to wash a dish. You know, if that if, and then you expect you marry me and you say no maid in the house, no cleaning lady in the house. I have to do everything. I never did a single laundry. Now you expect me to do the laundry? Can imagine what kind of shalom bayit problems the house would have if a woman. I never cooked. What? I never cooked. I never did laundry, and now the husband said, "I expect this from you." And really, it's one of the things that wives supposed to do for husbands to cook. It's one of the things that the Gemara talks about. That's part of the
That's for the middle class.
right. But I presume a lady is not who's is very affluent. We never saw her mother cook anything in her life. You know, there are women that get married, they don't know how to cook. I'm not criticizing them. They learn it and they learn how to cook. All right, that's all right. But they're willing to learn how to cook. They talk to friends, they talk to other people, they talk to their mother.
That's the parents.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today. No, I'm talking about today. But the point is, they might, Miles, they learn kashrut, but not and necessarily do they learn how to cook. Kashrut, they know how to. So when you have a maid in the house, you have to know what she's allowed to do, what you have to do. There's certain laws that the maid can't do certain. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? I can't have the non-Jewish lady turn on the fire of the oven. Or if you're Sfarad, I can't just, it's not good enough for me. I can't just turn on the oven. That's not good enough. I have to put the food into the oven. You know? Now, or it's not about turning on the fire for the Sfarad. It's about putting the food on the fire. But the Vilna Gaon has a beautiful idea. He says, you know what's the woman that's beautiful in her actions? He's referring to. So again, so I wanted to say perhaps there is such a concept. There's a Gemara somewhere. Maybe this is the Gemara. I wonder this is what perhaps maybe what the Marshal once said. Each person, many people were influenced in their life. Rabbi Akiva was influenced in his life, and he went ahead and he had such an amazing wife. She made him, so to speak, who he was.
And also when he came back, said that all the Torah is for her.
Right. All the Torah that I had, he told the students, my Torah and your Torah is because it's hers. Because she made it. Only because of her it happened. So he's talking about his own personal life, and he felt rich because he had this woman in his life that made him who he was. And that to him, that's everything. And the next rabbi, Rabbi Yossi Omer, you know what's a rich man? Kol mi sheyesh lo beita kisei samach l'shulchano. If you have a bathroom near where you eat, near where your table is, where your house is, where you live, if you have a bathroom, Ralph, you hear that? People are wealthy. According to him, everybody's wealthy today. We have bathrooms there where we eat, right? That.
Rabbi Avitan talked about when his parents came from Morocco or Syria, and that they had 12 kids, and they had one outhouse. And then when they came to America, they also had however many kids, but they had one bathroom. Finally, his children, each one had a house with his own bathroom. So bathrooms are important.
Right. But I think this rabbi had a stomach itch. I think if I recall, this is my show once upon a time. You might say we have to look it up. Maybe perhaps he personally appreciated the bathroom because of his personal situation in life. He says, "I'm a wealthy man. I got a bathroom. I'm so happy." Right, and that's why I'm wealthy. Therefore, he looks at he's wealthy. But listen to the Vilna Gaon. He says,
he has the right perspective.
exactly. That's beautiful. And the Vilna, hello, Levi. The Vilna Gaon says someone who has midot tovot. If you're a person that acts properly, you know the word mensch. You act very menschlich, very proper. You have very nice qualities in your character traits that you have. That is that, and a woman, Isha Yirat Hashem Hitasalav. You know, a woman who's God fearing. That's what I praise, and that's referring to a woman refers to someone who acts properly. And therefore, that's what he says. A nice woman with good deeds means a person who has midot tovot. Now, and then we said, Rabbi Yossi Omer, Kol mi sheyesh beit hakis yisamach l'shulchano. So a person has to appreciate the good things, what they have in their life, and maybe that's your wealth. Perhaps that's how we could understand the Gemara. And the commentary over here says, on number 30, he says that when a person is not well, chas v'shalom, the amount of medical expenses that people pay, it's unbelievable. Sometimes there's no ceiling on how much money it's needed for a person. It's catastrophic how much money people have to spend for ailments, for sick purposes. Therefore, if a person gathers a lot of money, the key is if you have person has a lot of money, but if he gets sick, then he can lose. He can't enjoy it. They can lose all that money. People lose their fortune when there's sometimes. Now, this is before health insurance that comes in, and that's part of the reason why there's health insurance, so that people should not lose their fortune. And therefore, if a person watches his health, if a person is healthy, is able to take the steps to watch their health that they should not come to get sick, that's a wealthy person, because then that will keep the wealth. And therefore, included in that is a person who has a bathroom near his table. But if you have a bathroom near where you eat, you won't have to delay going to the bathroom. And many sicknesses come by a person does not go to the bathroom. That's how the Marsha explains that Gemara. How do you like that, Nathan? And therefore, that's a wealthy person when the wealth is not vulnerable so much in that aspect. What do you want to say? That's ultimate, exactly. So, there is halachot, by the way. If a person needs the bathroom, they're not supposed to delay in going to the bathroom. And if a man delays in urinating, that might take hurt the ability of having children. So that's another problem, because you can't do things to hurt the ability of having children. But if it's not urinating, if it's moving one's bowels, it's a problem because it leads to sickness. And it's a different issue also. It's something that it's disgusting. And we don't do things that are of disgust. Now, I want to wish everyone a beautiful, beautiful day. Ralph, time flew when you're having fun. Ralph's looking at us much. What's going on, Rabbi? Well, why are you closing up shop? What happened? Why are you closing up shop?
I was wondering what happened with the balsams, kindling Shabbat lights.
Ralph's off to the next Gemara already. He's looking at the next Gemara. Stay tuned tomorrow. Next showing is on part 2 is tomorrow, Ralph. We love that smile, Ralph. Keep it up. And it's a compliment to your wife. That's what I'll tell you. That's what they say. A man that smiles is a compliment to his wife.
I have a bathroom right behind me.
And you have a woman with good deeds behind you too. How do you like that other shot too? Take care, Ralph. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. Yeah, he was too busy.
Okay, we'll give you another opportunity in the future. Alabama was 39, something like that. 36. Oh, very good, very good.
What are you doing tonight?
But I do it for that guy.
No, you're coming into. Give me a security.
Yeah, guys on the chat. Oh, on the chat.
9:30 today, very good.